Coffee. I'm co-chair of the Stanislaus Green Team. This is our last meeting of the summer, but we're here every third Thursday of the month, and we are excited to have you here. We're doing hybrid meetings, so you can come here in person or attend through Zoom. We usually start by introducing who's here in the room, so to speak. I'm going to start with Judy. Go ahead, Judy. Introduce yourself. Just tell us who you are and who you're with.
Sure. I'm Judy Notley, and I am the Ombudsman and Small Business Liaison for the California Air Resources Board.
Thank you. And let's see, Madhu.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Madhu Singh. I am the branch manager here at Bank of Stockton, but I'm here in Modesto at the Dale Road office. I'm also a board member of the chamber.
Thank you. Vicki.
Hi, I'm Vicki Rice, the recycling coordinator for the city of Modesto. Glad to be here.
And just so you know, Vicki, we really only see the top of your head.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all right.
Hi, Courtney. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? I'm Courtney Archibald. I'm the Safety, Health, Environmental Manager for Nestle Carnation here in Modesto. It's been a while since I attended a meeting, and happy to be back with the group.
Yeah, nice to see you.
Hey, Courtney, thanks for attending. Nice to see you too.
Hey, Lyndon.
George, how about you?
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. George Isaac. I'm the sales director for Repsco. We're a manufacturer here in Riverbank, and I'm also a member of the ribbon cutting, the welcome team.
Thank you. Liz?
Mhm.
Hi, everyone. This is Liz with CCS Facility Services. I'm glad to be involved in the group. And I work, as I mentioned, for CCS. We're a janitorial and engineering providing company.
Thank you. Anthony?
Hello, everyone. Anthony with Blue Diamond Growers. I took over for Neil for the sustainability team, so I'll be joining you guys every Thursday now.
Thank you. Nice to have you. Nick?
Hi, Nick DeKuzlian with the Office of Supervisor Mandy Graywall. He's also going to be joining us very shortly, but he has a meeting that's running a little bit late. So
No problem. Nice to have you guys with us today. John?
So hello, I'm John Mensinger. I work for American Lumber, and I'm here today because I was invited to be a representative of the Modesto Irrigation District. I'm the director for Division 2 of the Modesto Irrigation District.
Nice to have you, sir. Thank you for joining us. Jolene?
My name is Jillian. I'm here from the Modesto Chamber of Commerce. I'm the sustainability coordinator.
Could you guys hear her?
Not too much.
One more time, a little bigger.
My name is Jillian. I'm here from the Modesto Chamber of Commerce. I'm the sustainability coordinator.
Thank you. And I'm Trish Christensen, President and CEO of the Modesto Chamber of Commerce. And I'm going to hand it back to you, sir.
Before I turn it over to our speakers, I want to remind everybody that while this presentation is going to have your Zoom on mute, and if you want to ask a question, you can raise your hand. There's a little signal that you can put up on your screen, or you can put it into the chat room. We can look at that. If anyone hasn't put their info in the chat room, that's a great way for us to get your contact information. That way you get notice of future meetings and all that good stuff. So with that, I want to hand it over to Laura Stokes and Suzanne Reed with the collaboration connection. I appreciate you speaking today. Take it away. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. First of all, can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, very good. I'm Laura Stokes. Good afternoon. And I really thank everyone for being here. Thank you all at the Modesto Chamber of Commerce, the Green Team, and Jolene Camarina for this time to share our reasons and opportunities for businesses to go green. I'm going to start by telling a short story, and then Suzanne will present some reasons and ways to go green. A little bit about me. I've resided in Modesto since 2014, and this is my permanent home. I have a bachelor degree in architectural engineering from the University of Texas at Austin, and I still maintain active PE licenses in Washington State and Florida. In 2009, I retired after a 30-year career as a facilities engineer, and I designed the structures of buildings and civil structures, and I reviewed sets of plans for large projects to make sure that all of the disciplines and trades were coordinated, that contract documents were met and codes were met. But since I've retired, I've educated myself in art history and painting, and I now identify as an artist, and I sell my work and other artists' work on an online gallery. And so by striking out on this path, I have a new career and definitely a different lifestyle. But the story I'm going to tell you today is about my father's company, Holman Boiler Works, incorporated in Dallas, Texas. That's me at the lower left. I was the first female drafter. It was founded in 1947 by two brothers, Dick and Fred Holman, and Fred passed away. And so in the early 1950s, Dick reached out to my father, who's in the upper left on that standing picture, and Charles Stokes, he's an engineer, and Tom Crossland, who is a pipe fitter, and offered to them the opportunity to buy shares in the company and help him grow it and make it succeed and manage it. And they were really, really successful. But to be completely clear, not one of these three men had any outside support in terms of money. Dick Holman, the seated gentleman there, dropped out of school when he was 9 years old so that he could make money. And he made money by driving trucks. And to reach the pedals, he had to strap wood blocks to his feet. And he was raised in such a tough part of Dallas that his neighbors were Bonnie and Clyde, who offered him a job as their getaway car driver for $200 a day. And Dick liked to say that he turned down that job because he knew it wasn't going anywhere. My dad was raised in a small town. He was born in 1918 in Northeast Texas, a town of 2,000 people. His father raised them by selling hot tamales out of a push cart. And my dad worked his way through college by repairing home appliances on call. And he lived in and shared a 2-bunk converted chicken coop while he was taking engineering in college in the Great Depression. And the third partner, Tom Crossland, was a welder. I never heard that his family had any money. But once these three men got together and they were able to combine their funds, they were able to purchase another small boiler company that was on a piece of property. And in the back of the property was what, quote, they called it a gold mine. The previous owner would repair boilers, excuse me. And when the boilers didn't work and he couldn't repair them anymore, he discarded them in the back lot behind the shop. And there were acres of discarded boilers in the back lot. And boilers, all of them have in them tubes. And what tubes are very expensive, high pressure rated steel pipes that can be recycled. So that's what these men did. They repurposed all of those tubes and built new boilers and repaired old boilers. And it was just a pile of free money in the back lot, a lot of free money for three young men who didn't have any money, but they had a lot of heart and talent and energy. And so in 2014, the company sold to a holding company that combined them with Cleaver Brooks. But before they sold the company in 1980 and 81, my dad and Mr. Holman sold their shares. And at that point, the customers included Dole Pineapple, Procter & Gamble, large manufacturing plants all over the country, clients in Mexico, the Russian government, dry cleaners, everything you can think of. But one of the most interesting things is that the Army Corps of Engineers specifications referenced Holman Boiler Works model numbers for their or equal substitutions. And they were able to hire the best possible employees. They had wonderful employees, and they pretty quickly established a reputation for integrity and reliability. And there's no question that all of those things is what made them successful. And they did that in the mid 20th century. It's just really a path that any government today can take. Any business can take. And so we can all do the same. And I had, this isn't new thinking, you know, that you salvage materials and reduce energy consumption and reduce or eliminate extractive practices and toxic material production. This is a common approach to reversing and mitigating climate change. And it's not new thinking, it's old thinking. There's the old fashioned sayings of, you know, one man's or woman's trash is another's treasure. And every penny counts, and waste not, want not. But the most important one is try and leave the world a little better than you found it. And so there's opportunities that abound for all of us. And I had a lot of fun and had a lot of pleasure recently going to the Central Valley Facilities Expo that included green buildings. And it was in downtown Modesto. And facilities materials, the equipment, the machinery, the services and supplies have undergone and continue to undergo significant transformations, which is not really very surprising. And from pumps to boilers and weed and pest control, water filtration systems, HVAC filtration systems, and wonderful HVAC sterilization systems, and, you know, security camera systems, even conduits for wires have been upgraded. There was innovation everywhere. And the availability of these new and improved eco-friendly products makes it pretty easy to green up facility infrastructures and do it at an affordable cost. And these upfront capital investments immediately result in lower operating costs and shorter payback periods. But one company that I was really impressed with when I was there is this company that provides a service to everybody else that wants to go green. They do it turnkey for them, so they don't have to spend their effort and time doing it. And there's a fee, but it's not upfront. And what they do is the energy saving costs that they get a third of the money that's saved. And so, of course, they just want to save you as much money as they possibly can. So their motivation is, you know, save money and optimize performance. But that's pretty much what businesses do. That's how we stay in business and get ahead. And so I think we should see what we can do. And this is where I would like to introduce Suzanne Reed to talk about how and why to go green. And she's the founder of the Collaboration Connection, which is a website portal that is just loaded, jam-packed. You can't find a better rabbit hole, with links to support climate action and a just transition to a new economy in California, the nation, and the world. She has been an energy and an environmental advisor in the United States Senate. She was a commissioner on the California Energy Commission, and she was a chief of staff in the California State Legislature. Her private sector experience includes public opinion research, social marketing, and strategic planning for business, government, and nonprofit organizations. She holds an undergraduate degree from Smith College, where she majored in biology, and a master's degree from Yale University School of the Environment. And Suzanne and I both hope that our presentations will inspire you, and hopefully it will generate questions and a robust discussion at the end of the presentation. Thank you. Suzanne, it's yours.
Thank you, Laura. That was great. And I appreciate all of you for being here today and for the opportunity to present to the chamber. I am going to show you a lot of slides, and they're going to be jam-packed with information. I assure you I will not read them word for word, but you're going to be provided with a copy of my presentation, which has a lot of links and resources that you can access going forward. But I'm going to breeze through them because I'm anxious to get to a point where we can have a conversation and share some ideas about moving forward in the green transformation. The first question that is often asked is, why go green? And the answers are becoming more and more clear to all of us as we experience these extreme weather events and higher temperatures. The temperatures are rising. They have been attributed to the actions of humankind, and they are rising more quickly and more extremely than has been previously predicted. Also, polar sea ice is melting, and the cause of that is the increased temperatures and an extraordinary temperature rise in our polar areas of the world. Concomitantly, sea level is rising. And the combination of the sea level rise and the extraordinary temperatures in the Arctic are combining to alter the flow of the Gulf Stream and cause some of the stagnation in these heat domes and the other extreme weather events that the world is beginning to experience with regularity. The sixth climate assessment of the IPCC, the International Policy on Climate Change, has recently been published. And what it shows is that we are now at the highest carbon dioxide concentration that we've ever had in 2 million years, the highest sea level rising at a fastest rate in 3,000 years, the Arctic sea ice melt, which is at its lowest level in 1,000 years, and the glacier retreat, which is unprecedented. We have these manifestations closer to home to make the point that we all need to be observant and do what we can to reverse climate change. These are the temperature trajectories in California and what's expected if we can't reduce our greenhouse gas emissions. Closer to home also, we have an extraordinary wildfire season now in California. More recently, we have had the Caldor fire and the Dixie fire. We've already gobbled up 2 million acres across the state, over 7,000 fires thus far. And according to CAL FIRE, our fire season has been extended by 75 days across the Sierras. We're also, as many of you know and realize, in the middle of a drought. This slide shows you basically the darker the colors get, the worse it gets. And we are also subject to flooding throughout California, irrespective of where we live. The other reason, besides the extreme weather events that we're experiencing globally and in the state of California, the reasons for going green in your business are because it's simply good business to do so. With respect to the public's perception of global warming, the majority of Californians in particular are very concerned. And they are concerned about the future of the economy, the quality of life, the extreme weather events, and even the ocean warming as they become more and more aware of what the impacts of climate change are. And as a result of this increased awareness, they're more likely to be looking for and purchasing green products. And according to a recent survey in 2021, 78% are more likely to purchase a product that is clearly labeled as environmentally friendly. We'll talk a little bit about labeling later. Of course, besides its eco-friendliness, many of you understand and know that consumers are not always willing to pay what any extra cost that's associated with an eco-friendly product. They also consider performance and reliability. But many Americans are also concerned that the labeling and what's now being referred to as greenwashing is making it difficult for them to choose the right products and to count on the fact that they are in fact green and eco-friendly. So in addition, for the businesses that go green, it increases your selling proposition, it opens unsaturated markets, it improves employee health, productivity, pride, and loyalty. It reduces your operating costs for energy and waste disposals. You can qualify for low interest financing and grants, and it attracts investors using the increasingly popular criteria of environment, social, and governance ratings that Wall Street is now using to assess investment in business. It reduces your risk exposure, and it contributes to community well-being. I hear from individuals and businesses and organizations is, I'm just one business, I'm just one person. Can I make a difference? And the answer is a resounding yes. By being a green business in your community, you not only provide consumers with choice and offer education and the prospects of good health, but you can provide good job opportunities and skills development that will prevail throughout the future. You help other businesses by being a model and also sharing information, including transforming your supply chain and by fostering innovation. Other aspects of your operations can benefit the communities by assisting in community cooling, wildfire protection, biodiversity, food access, waste reduction, reduce greenhouse emissions community-wide, again, education and job opportunities, a healthy local economy, and again, being a model for your community and other businesses. I talked a little bit about greenwashing, and I think we know what it means. It's the act of making false or misleading claims about the environmental benefits of a product, service, or technology. But it's a difficult process of determining what labels you can rightly use on your products to characterize them. There's a lot of confusion among the terminology, what's the difference between recycled, reclaimed, repurposed, and restored, whether it's recycled content, how much, if it's recyclable, how is it recyclably, is it ethically produced, regenerative, or organic, is it non-toxic, is it natural? So these are all things that you need to consider carefully before you label your products. And there's also a new bill that's pending signature on the governor's desk that requires truthful green labeling and has penalties for a failure to label appropriately. So where do we start? Well, the first thing to do is to take a look at your own operations and to calculate your life cycle carbon footprint. And I say life cycle because a lot of folks narrow the scope of their footprint to just what they in and of themselves in their operations are producing or using in terms of carbon. And but we want you to look even further back to your supply chain and the indirect carbon emissions that are associated with how you source your products and where they come from and how they're delivered to your site. The other vision that we promote is a more holistic approach to economic success and embracing the circular economy as your vision means that you have a system that tackles global challenges like climate change, biodiversity loss, waste, and pollution. This regenerative approach is in contrast to the linear economy, which is historically the one that's been pursued globally. And this has a take, make, and dispose model of production. So we're asking businesses and organizations and any operations really to not only reduce their environmental footprint, but look to how they provide better service to extend the lifespan of their products and reduce them and restore resource and dependency is part of the process of your thinking, that you minimize waste and recycle waste and reuse your resources. There are shades of green, and there's always a beginning to the game plan. And there's many ways that you can take your current business and begin modifying it to be green. Look at the materials that you're using and choose different ones, or redesign your existing materials, use reclaimed materials. You can improve your products or develop completely new product solutions. You can influence your supply chain or change it to provide eco-friendly and humanitarian materials sourcing and packaging. Your production operations can continue with a reduced carbon footprint and an eco-friendly work environment, which includes paying fair wages and benefits and offering job skills training and career pathways. Through your services and solutions, you can combine and bundle individual products and services and for sustainability and resilience. And you can be involved in your community and with civic engagement by providing educational resources and opportunities. That could be internships, sponsoring events, encouraging and rewarding employee volunteerism, advocating for change, and engaging in public-private partnerships. So the quick start list is, you want to identify immediately your carbon footprint and evaluate how to reduce it. Also, seek in your community what your niche is. Where are the gaps and what gaps can you fill with your product or services? You want to have at least a principles and a vision that you can articulate about what your company and your operations are about in terms of the values that you hold. And you can also expand the level of technical and financial support that you receive by to either start up or scale up your current operations, and then to sustain and grow them. And you can pursue additional carbon footprint reductions throughout your operations and supply chains. You can consider offsets in the agricultural arena. These are very common by trading the land preservation for incentives as carbon sinks, and you have local opportunities in your community and in Stanislaus County to do this. Network and meet other businesses, investors, and venture capitalists. There's lots of opportunities. Laura mentioned one that she had participated in recently, and they are everywhere. As a matter of fact, there's too many webinars. There's almost too many webinars that you can engage in to meet new people on a variety of issues and platforms. And although those of us in business are used to competition as our modus operandi, the opportunities to collaborate and partner are great and often result in greater productivity and benefits for all who engage. And finally, becoming certified will help you with the labeling and the consumer confidence that you want to build for your product and your services. These are just a list, and I hope that our conversation later we can actually add to this kind of list, but these are things that are really the low-hanging fruit of opportunities for green business and green business expansion and green business creation in the area of solar panels and batteries, solar roofing, repurposed and reclaimed materials, drought tolerant landscaping and compostable and reusable packaging, organic foods, eco-friendly toys, natural ingredients in soaps and candles and other consumer products that are increasingly demanded by consumers. The services in terms of repair and refurbishment, providing services in an eco-friendly climate using eco-friendly products, and enhancing the sustainability of other operations, providing audits and services to help businesses and residents and multifamily complexes become more energy efficient and sustainable. And also in this wildfire season that we're having is helping people harden their properties and their homes against the wildfires that are ever more common. The one that I came up with is a solar panel wash, because I have solar and I just don't want to climb up on my roof. But with the dust and the smoke and the ash that we've had, I would really wish I could find somebody to climb up there and hose it all off and hopefully up my energy production from my solar. So you need to look into your community and see what's needed and what the opportunities are. Identify your target markets and your target audiences. Use multiple communications channels to reach them and languages. And that includes becoming more efficient in social marketing and Instagram and TikTok and video. I mean, it does require a fair amount of skills development from the old print advertising and TV commercial and radio commercial ways of doing business. So really investigate how best to reach your target audiences. And again, build consumer trust through your integrity and quality products and excellent customer service. You can also expand your exposure and your engagement by engaging in community events and helping with the education, and encouraging and rewarding employee volunteers, and sponsoring or co-sponsoring community educational events and demonstrations and home gardening or a local green business exploratorium is a concept that Laura and I have been working on, which actually is a partnership of the public-private nonprofit community coming together and really displaying and demonstrating all of the products that are available locally that will help everybody and anybody go green or be a green consumer. You can, at the civic engagement level, you really need to work with your local, regional, and state government to advance the policies that support green business and a green economy. You can advocate for change locally through streamlined permitting and discounted permitting processes, and increasing the incentives for going green. For instance, we have, because of the economic downturn, we have a lot of vacant buildings, and not only refurbishing them with green materials and also to provide green solutions, you'll be enhancing the local economy. We all know that agricultural lands have been diminished, especially our class 1 and our class 2, through farmland development, and land use policy is a big aspect of preserving our farmlands. So advocating for better and more farmland preservation is a good public policy arena to become involved in. You can follow public policy changes. I've given you some links here, and also noted that the Climate Center has a climate safe site where you can follow what kinds of legislation is passing through the state legislature and what its status is, so you can participate in that conversation. Again, forging these green public and private partnerships can lead to a very robust acceleration of a green economy. Again, you can co-host, you can co-sponsor actual greening events like tree planting and community gardens. You can visit the schools, provide after-school activities at your site, and offer internships. You can co-host awards and recognition programs. Why not recognize people or individuals that have advanced the greening proposition? You can establish an innovation hub where people share new ideas and creative concepts. And I think one of the best places or pieces of the puzzle is to just help people find green business information and funding more easily than the hunt and peck method. And that's the basis of my website, the Collaboration Connection, which enables you to find technical support and also funding to support the activities, even at a startup level that you're wanting to pursue. It would be helpful to form a group, an informal group of folks, or a more formalized one with the Chamber of Commerce that provides assistance in this regard, help finding grants and financing, and support in proposal writing for local businesses and government and nonprofit organizations. Establishing a community choice energy program. This is where you are using green energy with subscribers that support greenhouse gas emissions reduction through energy distribution. And you can also encourage these kinds of policies to be incorporated in the various general plans. Modesto is in that process, and my understanding is have committed to having a green element. And the Stanislaus County has developed a toolbox of elements and issues to address when putting together a green element. So I'm just going to run through these last few pages relatively quickly to show you what's here, so you can go back and find them. I do a lot of my research on Google. It's just trying a lot of search words and plugging them in and seeing what comes up, and it's really fascinating. This is also to remind you when you're looking for resources, though, that some people charge a fee, and sometimes the information is free. I always start with free, and I'm more inclined to list free resources on my website, but sometimes it's worthwhile in checking out a fee-for-service program that helps you go green, or under a scale that Laura was talking about in terms of their return, or their payment is only derived from the return on investment that you enjoy as a result of their engagement in your activity. These are just websites where you can go to find ways to calculate your footprint, more about the circular economy, green vocabulary, how to figure out what means what, and what's the appropriate term to use for your products, places to go to become certified, and consumer market data and information to assess the opportunities in your community or in your industry. And I just will point out that the US Census is doing a fabulous job of making a ton of resources available and segmented in ways that can really assist you in these evaluations. So I put some links up here. And also there are places where you can market your green product more widely. And also these are portals for green biz funding and financing. I have my own portal listed here. I have a general category for grant and some funding resources, and this isn't confined just to California or just to local. It also includes national and federal opportunities, as well as those that are available from various foundations and independent organizations that offer funding for this kind of work. I also have a particular list for agricultural related grants and funding resources. And this Desire USA has a lot of, it's a navigable site. Some of these are not as navigable as others, but it's a navigable site that gives you very specific grants that are currently pending. Again, sometimes on these sites you have to pay, not any of these sites, but you have to pay for getting more or routine notifications of grants that are available for you. But Desire USA, you don't have to pay upfront, and it's a really good resource. These are some that we've identified as currently available, and so I recommend that you check those out. And these are opportunities for networking, like I said, across a whole range of organizations, and some are locally available, and some are national, and some are state. And that is something that I encourage you all to do. These are all, the Green Expo is coming up. Some of these are online, and some will be as time goes on in person. And that concludes my presentation. And I now invite you to ask any questions you may have. I haven't been following the chat, so I will turn it back over to Jolene or whoever will guide us in terms of the question and answer section. Thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you, Suzanne. Does anybody have any questions for Suzanne on her presentation? Now is your chance. And I don't know if anybody has a question in the chat room.
No, they've been sharing contact information, and we're a small enough group. Feel free to unmute yourself and just chime right in.
There we go. I like that idea. Any questions?
A lot of great content there.
Yes, absolutely.
Some of the things you're referring to with green certification, we're actually focused on here. We've launched a California Green Business Network Stanislaus specific program here. The Modesto Chamber is the program coordinator for that. So Jolene's kind of our ace in the hole, and she's our go-to know-it-all on everything green that we're learning to do here and spread the word on in Stanislaus County. So great crossover there.
Right, I know it can be overwhelming, but I'd really like to hear from many of the participants here I know are already engaged in greening their businesses and their operations, and what they think about the climate for and demand for advancing green businesses, and what barriers, if any, they've encountered as they do their work.
Yeah, hi, it's Courtney from Nestle Carnation. We're kind of in the midst of all this, and we a few years ago launched a pretty successful project that saved a ton of water, and so what? So we're really trying to tap into our consumer and ensuring that our consumers are aware of the initiative we put in place, because I think it's a point to be made that the 2021 consumer is different than the consumer 10 years ago. They're much more, eco-minded, and as much as us as businesses could take credit for what we've done in regards to environmental sustainability, we should tap into that. Not only to share what we've done, but to drive additional business for ourselves. Just again, with the new consumer, and I misspoke earlier saying eco-minded. They're environmentally minded consumers now. So we're looking for opportunities to tap into that, and thank you for sharing some examples of that. We'll definitely leverage those. So great presentation. It was good for us and our factory to see, a perfect example of our vision that we're amidst right now, as we work with our corporate teams on marketing, et cetera, and labeling to tap into that consumer base.
Super. Can anyone share like barriers that they've encountered or obstacles and other challenges to expanding or starting a green business? You're all having an easy time with it? What a shy group.
I can kind of share some information, what's going on with this on a city level.
Great.
We are in the midst of working on SB 1383, which is definitely dealing with short-lived climate change in terms of organic waste recovery. So it is mind-boggling what we'll be able to do just trying to get through how to do it. The city's hired a consultant, so we're kind of getting through that to determine if we're going to be a 2 or a 3 can system, how we're going to deal with our commercial waste and removing organics. We already have we have a green can, so we're collecting organics at the residential level. We have a pretty robust food waste recovery program as well. We're very fortunate that a lot of that can go out to our compost site. All that's well and good, but we're, continually fighting contamination and people not wanting to be in the program, all those kind of things. So it's always education and outreach. But we're just excited to be able to have R3 as our consultant to kind of help us through the process. We'll go to council and have everything vetted on what our procedure will be, but it's crazy. And, we're looking at 75% organic reduction. The part I'm working on right now that I think is so exciting is the food recovery component. We really don't have anything in the city on a citywide effort. There's obviously people doing great things for food pantries and stuff like that, but this will make us have to do it. We're going to have businesses have to recover their food waste, schools, hospitals, all those kind of things. So very exciting because we are, sad to say, we are a community with a lot of people that go to bed hungry every night. So if we can help that and help the environment at the same time, we're excited to be part of that.
That's excellent. And the whole arena of food security and food system reform is a very active arena right now. Anyone that has a business or a business inclination in that arena, the whole farm to fork movement, and also localizing production and distribution within the region as opposed to transporting it out. And these smaller, organic and urban farming opportunities are rife with possibilities. People have become more aware of the food security issue, not only as it results from low income and disadvantaged communities access issues, but also with respect to other people in the population, including seniors and isolated seniors, and getting meals to them. And so that's one of the reasons that I'm such a strong advocate for collaboration, because there are so many good things going on, but often people aren't talking to each other and the programs aren't connected in a way that helps maximize its efficiency or use all the resources available in a really effective and efficient way. And the 1383 movement, while it is waste reduction, and essentially in that aspect, just talking about keeping the food out of the waste stream in the first place, and making sure that it gets distributed and used in a productive way, is a good platform for organizing the entire community food system in a way that is interactive and the most beneficial regionally. So congratulations on tackling it. I know it's a difficult challenge, but it's a good opportunity to bring a lot of people to the table at the same time to talk about food system and food access issues. I know we have some county representatives on board, and I was interested in what's happening at the county level in terms of integrating some of these issues into climate action mobilization and just transition. Any takers?
Yes, good afternoon. This is Manny Graywall with the Stanislaus County Board of Supervisors. Yeah, as far as things that we're doing, I know that stuff that is happening in regards to this with environmental resources. I just think if you can give us kind of a template of challenges that you are seeing that the county can help expedite or can make it easy, or if there's businesses that are looking to get incentivized for going green, or if they're looking to help with retrofits or upgrades, that's something that, one, as a business owner myself, I find very important, but also as a county representative, we should be a partner in this and make sure that we're not an impediment in any part of the process.
Absolutely, and I think that's a good topic, that the chamber can really, and the Stanislaus Green Team can really assist with, in terms of, having a conversation about what barriers and incentives might be, what barriers might be eliminated and what incentives might be provided, or technical support. I also will point out that in the on my website, we have a lot of opportunity here for accessing case studies and the things that other communities have done, not only in California, but also outside of California and nationally. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel with this stuff. There's plenty of information out there. Like I said, it's overwhelming to get a hold of it and research it, and that's why the reason for the website. But I also believe in starting small. I mean, do pilot projects and investigate what works and what doesn't work, and then share that information so other communities and organizations don't have to reinvent the wheel. And I think a conversation, or with elected representatives on where things can go, there are opportunities for that as the general plan gets modified, and conversations around that are stimulated through the process. So I appreciate that invitation, Supervisor Gawal. Can anyone else from a business, speak to any barriers they encountered or challenges they've confronted in setting up their business?
Well, I would like to just talk maybe about the side that I work on, which is janitorial and engineering services. And my company is very, very focused on green products and sustainability. But really what I see is people are not as apt to jump on board unless there are those incentives or those rebates, but also the certifications are big. A lot of the commercial companies, distribution, especially municipalities, but education, the schools, if there are certifications that we can offer, help them get connected to those resources, they're all ears. So this is really helpful for me. That way I can even pass along websites or information. That's something that they're very interested in.
This is an open source website, by the way, so you are all welcome to steal anything on here. Steal it, reuse it, customize it. If there's pieces of information that you think are most helpful or that you want to just take lock, stock, and barrel and put on your website, you are more than welcome to it. And I did want to talk, I know we're closing in on the end of our time, but I did want to talk also about the importance of the just transition and the circular economy and the opportunities in job growth and career path that can be offered to the youth and especially those from disadvantaged communities through work and training and skills development and education and outreach. We have in West Sacramento, we have an urban farms program where and a program for youth that are at risk to come and learn about farming practices and organic farming and how to use the equipment and basically not only provide them with skills, but also inspire them for future career interests. So building a business and building an economy and building a pathway for economic sustainability for individuals, as well as your business, as well as your community, all go hand in hand. And so I really encourage the holistic view of the circular economy as you go forward.
Thank you, Suzanne. We're coming up on the hour, so I want to give everybody a last second chance to make announcements if they have some. But first of all, thank you so much for a great presentation, both to you and Laura. Appreciate that very much. And I believe this has been recorded and will be up on our website in case if you missed anything or want to recap. That's the beauty of recording these. So we very much appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Appreciate it very much. Real quick, this is the time we give the floor to our attendees. If you have something to announce, or we call them 30-second commercials, promote something, now is your time. Anybody? Laura.
Yes, I actually am going to be having a pop-up art show at the Chamber on Friday, December 4th, around the lunch hour from about noon to 2. So you can see my abstracts and landscapes.
Great, fantastic.
And hopefully buy one.
We'll come back to future meetings for October and November and promote that because we are still dark in December, right? We don't do that. Okay, so yeah. So that's an incentive for you to come back for the next couple months and enjoy our presentations. Thank you. Anyone else?
I will just share while you guys are thinking. On Monday, we are having an Inspire Youth, Inspire Dreams platform preview. If you're interested in joining that, it's a 20 to 30-minute webinar where we will then release the link to all those in attendance that would like an opportunity to explore it. The platform is something our Business and Education Committee has been working for 20 to 24 months on, clearly having changed what it was meant to be to what it is today over the COVID criterias and impacts, but it became a tool that we invited businesses and other organizations through all 15 sectors of business and industry to allow us into their work environment to do an interview with them and capture some video of a day in the life of their workplace, with an opportunity then to have that uploaded onto our platform, where students, this time we rolled it out to teachers of 6th graders. The teachers then shared it with their students. They went into the platform and did an interest inventory, which guided them into their natural kind of mindset on what they might have a natural interest in for a career down the road. They would then go into that pathway on the portal and explore careers, many of which are being done right here. We're going to do the preview on Monday and then launch the next round for fall of 2021. And we'd really like to get more content from businesses throughout our county and area to show 6th and potentially 8th graders this time all the great career opportunities available to strive for, whether or not they are 4-year university bound. We're really trying to reach all students with any sort of interest on certification, training, junior college, whatever it takes for them to get to what they have interest in. We just really want to spark that desire to explore careers and be a part of our future workforce. So that's one. And the following Monday, we are hosting a council connection, which is a webinar also with an opportunity for people to come out and we're going to do a panel conversation, give them each, the council members and the mayor, some general questions so that the community as a whole can learn a little bit about who they are as people, individuals, and leaders in our community. So if you'd like information on that, that can be found on our website. If you're interested in the preview day, please email Jolene or I. We will forward you that link. That's not on our website. So those are my 2 20-second ones together.
Awesome. Very good. Very good. Last chance. Anybody else want to share anything? And we'll remind you that next month our meeting is on October 21st, and it's Anthony Presto from the San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District.
Yep.
I'm sure he'll be talking a lot about the fires and air quality. He always puts on a good presentation. So look forward to that. Look forward to all of you being there next month.
Down to her.
But before we sign off, any more announcements?
Right click on Laura. There.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Well, then I'm going to wrap it up.
All right.
And thank everybody for attending. And we will look forward to seeing you next month.
Thank you.
Thanks again to our speakers. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a pleasure.